Hey, what is up guys? It's your boy Speed here, and today I wanted to do an analysis of ARTEEZY'S LINA. Basically, I'm sure a lot of you guys have been watching his stream as of late, but in particular, I just wanted to look at this LINA game. He had a really high impact in this game, extremely good timings, and put a lot of pressure in the lane. So specifically, I'm going to be talking about every little thing that I noticed within his gameplay that can make you a better carry player, and let's get into it. Also, I want to tell you guys that if you've been struggling with solo queue and you're looking to get to the next rank, I'm going to be able to help you. Like, literally, with the Game Leap website, I'm going to give you guys guides that are going to make it unbelievably clear on what you need to do. So if you've been stuck in the solo queue grind, you don't know what to do, and you want to become absolutely broken, but like actually you want to become much better at Dota, and you want to take it more seriously, the Game Leap website is going to help you do that. So click the link down below. I'm going to help you get to the next rank, and I'll see you there. So in terms of the starting items, there seems to be two main item builds that people go on LINA nowadays, and that is either 3 branches and a blades of attack if you're against a lane that doesn't cast a lot of spells or has really high damage, or 3 branches and a blades of attack. Now, honestly, I kind of expected him to go blades of attack this game because he's against Pudge. Maybe he didn't know he was against Pudge. It's hard to say, right? It's definitely hard to say. Perhaps he just thinks the one is better because he's either against a Hoodwink or a Lich, both heroes that cast quite a few spells. But I was a little bit surprised not to see the blades of attack. Maybe he just thinks the overall sustain from one is better. Yeah, but these are the 2 builds you're going to go as he skills up his stun. Now, be careful. He actually got outplayed pretty hard there by the Hoodwink. Hoodwink hit a great stun while he got caught in the wave, and LINA really doesn't like getting caught in the wave, so be very careful about that. From there, he'll pull creep aggro, buy a set of tangos, and this is definitely a matchup where you can put a lot of pressure on the Pudge, right? He has a Clockwork. I think Clockwork LINA is one of the best lanes in the game, just because Clock traps him in with the cogs. It sets up for a very easy LSA. So I expect a lot of pressure in this lane. As you can see, he's just going to go for stuns, and if he doesn't hit them, it's not really the end of the world. Your hero has pretty good base mana regen, very high mana pool, and you have this wand in this case. So it's definitely something that I think a lot of players do wrong, which is they don't emphasize just kind of getting out their spell. For instance, this is a game-winning stun. I know it's like really game-winning. Yeah, it is, because it gives him 5 stacks of Fiery Soul, right, which is going to give him 50 attack speed, and then in particular, it's like 3 autos, and 3 autos that don't even make him tank the wave very much. So this is just a massive stun. It's honestly a huge mistake from the Pudge, allowing him to hit a stun like that. I mean, you should just never, ever allow LINA to hit a stun on the 5 creeps and for it to hit you as well. In low MMR, you'll find that opportunity constantly because people just kind of sit in the creep wave. In high MMR, people pull creep aggro way more, preventing scenarios like that. But obviously in that case, it was not the case. As he goes for a stun here, looks like potentially a kill as the Pudge tries to man up. You know, he's going to get the job done. Just once again hitting a nice stun as the Pudge walks up for a last hit. And you kind of just run them down. It's a very common scenario where with the Fiery Soul, you get bonus movement speed. That allows you to set up for another stun. You hit that stun, you keep your stacks going, and you can pick up a kill. I really hate laning against this LINA hero. I've laned against him multiple times now. It's just obscenely obnoxious, like disturbingly obnoxious to play against this hero in lane. So from there, he picks up boots. A lot of players don't buy boots on LINA at all, but I love the fact that he does this lane. Number 1, because he's against a hero that hates getting clicked a lot, so the boots can help you do that. But I would say more importantly, he's against a lane that poses a lot of kill threat, right? The Hoodwink Pudge is a lane that, oh my gosh, well that was a hook. This lane is a lane that's going to try to run you down and just kill you. Another thing that I like that he's doing here is he's specifically not eating his tango. You might be wondering why he didn't immediately. He was afraid that on his retreat, the Hoodwink was actually going to try to bushwhack him, and so he held the tango until he was retreated to the tower. So that's something to keep in mind for very specific matchups. Another good hook by Pudge, but another good stun from ARTEEZY as he'll back away. So the next thing that ARTEEZY did that I thought was kind of weird but makes sense is he picks up 3 mangoes. Now, this is something typically you'll see very early on into the lane because the HP regen is something that just gets more value. Oh, goes for this cheeky stun there. But the HP regen will, you know, build up over time and is particularly valuable in the laning stage. But typically as the lane moves along and the more you consider, oh, is he dead? He's probably dead. He tried to stun the tree. He tried to stun the tree to prevent the bushwhack, but it actually hit the last tree. Unfortunate, as they're going to pick up a kill. That's actually a massive kill for the Pudge. Getting a return, I'm sorry, the Hoodwink got the kill. It's a big kill for them, big for XP. But yeah, typically the mangoes are something you'll see purchased, very much so purchased earlier in the lane for the HP regen, as it is going to hurt your net worth, but I guess it doesn't matter. He has 2 kills, 30 last hits by 6, and so even though he did buy those mangoes and even an extra set of tangos here, really doubling down on playing the lane. A lot of Linas will not pick up raindrops. A lot of Linas won't pick up tangos like this, mangoes. They'll kind of just accept the fact that they're going to die at some point, or they'll move into the jungle. It's very uncommon to see this, but he's really prioritizing bullying out this Pudge. And I will say in particular, I think this is a big thing for situational matchups where you don't see a lot of offlane Pudge, at least not at this MMR. However, it's a hero that has to farm, right? It has to farm. It's a hero that needs to scale. It can't have a bad lane, and it cannot really jungle effectively. Like, yes, you could walk into the jungle with level 4 and hook creeps, but it feels horrible. And I think he understands, yes, I have a pretty good matchup here. Even Clockwork is sort of a Pudge counter in lane. Flesh Heap's not horrible against Battery Assault, but level 1 Flesh Heap isn't too good. So, yeah, I just like the fact that he's playing the lane. He understands that the clock gives him a lot of potential. Oh, nice hook from Pudge. Oh, but it doesn't matter. Do you kill yourself the tower here? I feel like you don't have the regen to sustain the lane. He could have considered killing himself there. Okay, he has a salve. Where did he get that from? The clock? Was that a shovel salve? That's so lucky. Oh my god. That is so lucky. I was like, where does he get a full duration salve from? There's no way he shipped it out expecting that play. Otherwise, he's on another level. But yeah, he's going to get the camp stacked up here, farm up the camps. And yeah, at this point with Javelin, you farm very, very quickly in the jungle. I would expect him to be careful about returning to the lane. I was going to say because Pudge is 6, but Pudge isn't 6. And so is Pudge going to hit 6 off this creep? No. So, okay, based on that information, he's going to clear the wave. Because if Pudge is 6, he can try to solo kill him here, but he's not. So he can push in the wave. Love that. Love that. Just great situational awareness from Arteezy. Most players don't have the discipline to leave the lane when the enemy is much stronger than them. Good scan as well to find that the Pudge and the Hoodwink are going to try to kick him out of the jungle and kill him. But he reads that, and yeah, they're going to be able to evade the gank, maybe pick up some XP from the Lich kill. Yep. And back into the jungle. So just good movements as he TP's bottom here. I mean, I guess Lifestealer doesn't threaten you too much, but I mean, he sees everyone besides Lifestealer, which is a good sign, right? Because Lifestealer will not solo kill you, but it's not a great... I don't really know why you would make this TP, actually. I think this is kind of bad because it's not exactly the place you want to be. Like, farming Dire Woods is almost better than the triangle for LINA early on because you can rotate between the mid and top lanes as well, which I feel like is generally better. I mean, not that being in the triangle is horrendous by any means, but I don't see most Linas do this. I'm surprised to see him make that TP bottom. I actually think that's kind of bad. Even running bottom here, in my opinion, feels awkward. Like, I feel like this Tiny, if he wasn't showing as much, would pose a massive threat on Arteezy, and he wouldn't be able to play this area at all, as he actually ends up getting hooked and ganked. Nice play from the Pudge. So, I mean, I didn't think he would die that way, but there you go. I'm going to say that's a mistake. I don't like to flame players at this caliber too much because obviously I think they're very talented, but I will say I think he should have just stayed in the Dire jungle and farmed because the thing about this LINA carry is it just shreds neutrals. And you might be like, oh, but Speed, what about map control? And I get that, but it's not like him clearing bottom wave is putting any pressure, right? He's not even able to hit the tower because he's LINA, right? He gets ganked too easily. He can't hit the tier 1, and he didn't hit the tier 1. So you're not really putting much pressure. You would just be doing it for farm in that case, which I don't think it's particularly good for compared to the Dire jungle, which he had access to. So yeah, but okay, he'll move back to the triangle here. This I think is like reasonable. Just there's a ton of stacks here at this point. So he cleared through the Dire woods and then he moves into the triangle. I don't think that's bad, right? That's just a natural farming rotation. If you clear every camp before the minute mark, you can move into the triangle afterwards. One of the things I've heard about LINA is that you really want to get Possessed Mask on this hero, otherwise you have sustain issues, which is very clear here. He's like half HP if it wasn't for the shovel salves from his Clockwork. So rotate in for a fight here. Really nice arena. It's actually a great rotation. He'll get a double. That's good stuff. It's a beautiful double off that beautiful rotation, as he'll then farm up the large camp and TP top. So he'll TP top, clean up this, as he's going to pressure out the Lifestealer. I guess just feels like with the Maelstrom, he's a little bit too strong. And the Void Spirit was connecting as well, so clear out top side. So once again, kind of making this aggressive TP across the map. I think it's mainly based off the fact that he has information of where the Pudge is, and I don't know if he knew where Tiny was, but because the Lifestealer Tiny would kill him, and so would Pudge Lifestealer if a hook connected. So he'd have to be a little careful, as he probably will request Ancient Stacks here. But no, they don't go for the Ancient Stacks. I would like to see him maybe request for more efficiency, but it's a pub, and he's probably just not as focused on it. He actually goes Shadow Blade. Okay, he's gonna have to kite the outside of the fight. Like here, I'd love the fact that he didn't run in there. A lot of players would have run in there, looking for a stun on the Lich, right? Laguna Blade opportunity, but he would 100% have died to the Tiny Lifestealer and Fest combo that he identifies here. He has to have patience. This Tiny combo will kill him. Now that Tiny combo is committed, oh, this is beautiful. They're going to be able to get a kill here. Gets the stun on Lifestealer, isn't enough. Can he get the infest off? No, infest. Oh, right, he was in the tiny. I'm stupid. Yeah, nice. Oh, good stuff. But the patience there is the key. If you put a lot of 3K players in this game here, they would have died. 100%, they would have died trying to kill the Lich. I guarantee it. People would be like, no, I wouldn't have. I definitely not me. Yeah, probably you. As then he finds another kill into the tiny, gets a Shadow Blade, avoids the combo, and back into the triangle. I wonder what it'll do for sustain issues. Do you go back to base? He's spamming clarities, which is pretty standard, as he takes the long way. Wow, evading the gank. What a read on the map. He just completely reads that I guess they're not showing top, and he did show on the bot wave, so he just assumes that they could be killing him, and he evades the gank. What a read from ARTEEZY. Beautiful stuff. And he's lucky enough to get the Brigand's Blade here, which is such a fantastic item on LINA. I mean, just the damage that this item gives is fantastic. It gives limited attack speed, but that's good on LINA, because you don't really need an attack speed item. You just want raw damage, and that's what Brigand's Blade does better than most neutrals in the game, including higher tier neutrals too. As he TP's bottom, just kind of sees an overcommitment, just a very clear overextension from the enemy, so makes a TPN. Going for the bot tower here, he has to be careful. I mean, even there, I'm slightly surprised he's hitting the tower. I mean, the Pudge could try to set up with, like, the Lich there and kill him. It would get them both killed, probably, but maybe he feels like, yeah, it would kill the Pudge and the Lich if they made that play, most likely. They'd probably get counter-ganked and die, but still, kind of surprising. As we move into the triangle, he's kind of looking around. I'm surprised to see him not go bots with this build. I guess with Shadowblade, if you go Shadowblade and bots, it's very greedy, but there is a clear playstyle there. You're playing side lanes, you're playing pickoffs, you can be anywhere at any time, threatening any kill. It makes the enemy have to be afraid of farming. And you can obviously, if they're not afraid enough, then kill them. So I would have not minded seeing that. But he gets to BKB. He'll use that as an opportunity to siege mid. Also, BKB level 15 is a very clear timing on LINA, the 350 health talent. With the BKB, your hero just becomes a 2,200 HP hero, which is pretty nuts, right? It's like, what? LINA? 2,200 HP? It's crazy. He'll find the angle on the Pudge here. Misses the stun, unfortunately. Does drop the Laguna on the Lifestealer. Can finish him off with the Q if needed. Oh, no, okay. Definitely not. So he's maxing stats over the Q. I've seen this build a lot. And the reason why you do it is it saves mana, so you can use this ability to basically, instead of using the stun, which is 115 mana, you can use the level 1 Dragon Slave, which is only 100, so you can save mana, and then you just kind of become tankier by taking 3 stat points over the maxing out the Q, because you don't need it for farming or clearing waves. The E, attack speed plus Maelstrom is just more than enough. As they get a nice dive there. The Blade Mail from the Pudge almost killed him. As he gets another shovel salve. he's just getting fed salves. I mean, he's a hungry man. Alright, queues up the Silver Edge, but I think he goes back for Boots of Travel. No, okay. He's gonna finish a Silver Edge. He'll take out Roshan. This LINA hero is crazy. It does everything, man. I'm surprised people didn't pick up on this earlier. I know there were some players that did. It's actually, there's a player in particular named Adrian, who was doing this for a while. And like we even played scrims against him. This was a long time ago, so I can talk about it, but we played scrims against them, and I've even played officials against this player, and he was doing LINA carry like a long time ago, when it was like just as good, right? And it's crazy that people are only picking up on it now, because this hero is insane, right? It does everything. The only thing it doesn't do well is like avoid survive ganks. Like, to be fair, it's not good at pushing in the dead lane previous to Boots of Travel Shadowblade, or like Boots of Travel. I mean, even then, when it has Boots of Travel, it has to, like, see the heroes it needs to see, because it doesn't have a disengage mechanic or illusions, so it has that downside, but outside of that, which, like, a lot of heroes have that downside, outside of that, it just does everything. Good laner, good jungler, good siege, good Roshan, scales well, you know? Good mid game too. It's honestly strong at every point in the game too. It's even good at getting active early on. So Laguna Blade just provides a lot. And so cut up the bot wave, picks up the Boots of Travel, so he's gonna look to get active. Oh, he reads the defense of the tier 2, hits a stun, but okay, it's not enough, unfortunately. Gets the read, but unfortunately his team was not ready for him to find the tiny behind the tier 2 tower. As they'll shred the tower. Classic LINA fashion, just obliterating the tower. He's got the Boots of Travel. You kind of have to determine how you're going to deal with your resources. It is a problem with LINA. You kind of have to spam clarities or bots back to base. You're going to have mana problems outside of that. He's going to go for the clarities to start. As they're sieging high ground, they're going to dive the tiny. It's kind of risky. He'll pop the BKB just... What the hell just happened? He gets a deep ward behind the tower? What, he just hits a 2-man cog or something? I don't know. Oh my god, he actually hit a 3-man cog. Good God. Well, not too much ARTEEZY had to do there, let's be real. That's a cog and a half. That's a big cog. I love big cogs. But alright, that's going to be all for today's video as this game ends in the next minute. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. I just think that this hero is incredible, and I wanted to talk about ARTEEZY'S general decision making. And, you know, I guess criticize him a little bit too. But yeah, I have a lot of respect for him as a player, so I always love making analysis of his matches and seeing how he views the game, what decisions he likes to make, and it's always very clear to me why this guy's one of the greatest when I watch his replays. The ganks he's able to avoid, the laning prowess, the CS in lane, his rotations they are just very clean gameplay. I think sometimes he'll joke around and make some mistakes like everyone, but for the most part, he's obviously very good. But alright, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one, and I'm out. Peace!
And that's all, but remember, before you leave, come on, before you tune out, subscribe to the Game Leap website where we are going to help you get to the next rank. If you're stuck, click the link down below, and I'm out. Peace!